New names, some new faces. So I'll get going and just give a quick overview. So welcome everyone. Those of you that have been here for a while, you know the drill. 15 minutes of positivity. For those of you that are new, the idea here is pretty simple. We are what we repeatedly do. So if we want to experience states of mindfulness or gratitude or cultivate a sense of forgiveness, compassion, and so forth, we need to practice. And so the idea here is just a few minutes a day. I think most of us have at least 15 minutes a day to dedicate to these foundational skills. And the more we do this together, the easier it gets. And so there are different themes every day of the week. Mondays is usually about mindfulness. Thursdays is about thankfulness. Fridays, I like to think of something that would be useful for the weekend. So since we won't be seeing each other for a few days. And so today's theme, I think a really good solid go-to is breathing. I know I've been traveling a lot, and there have been lots of situations which have felt a little bit out of control, and certainly where I wasn't calling the shots. And having this ability to go back to some really foundational physiological activation of the parasympathetic nervous system is just a really good, an old faithful strategy to lean on. And the specific technique that I've introduced here and that we've done a fair number of times is called physiological sighing. And it's a very specific way of breathing. So a deep inhale through the nose, and then the important part here is the sip. So it looks something like this. That's the sip. So there's this extra expansion of the lungs, and then a long exhale through the mouth. You can make the exhale audible. So, as long as we're all muted, so nobody can hear you. So be as vocal as you want about it. And I always like to experiment with, let's see what it's like to, what state we're in before we do this. Let's do a few rounds of breathing. Let's take a break. Let's see, how we're feeling. Let's do another round. And the idea is between now and, let's say it's 12:03, for the next 12 minutes, let's see how this technique or engaging this part of our nervous system actually changes our mood and our attitude and just our overall sense of being. So let's go ahead and practice. So let's start by just taking a couple minutes to close our eyes and arrive. We always start these sessions with, again, this is another really foundational skill, the ability to, on demand, to choose to say, okay, I'm going to drop into the present moment, make direct contact with what's happening right now. And this is in contrast to this tendency of the mind to time travel. So ruminating on the past, worrying or thinking about the future. Instead, what we're going to do right here, right now is just say, let's be in the present moment. And there are a few tricks we can use, such as some sensory tricks, like I love using my feet flat on the ground. And maybe wiggle your toes a little bit and notice the sensation of your toes tapping on the ground. This is what's happening right here, right now. It's got nothing to do with the future, nothing to do with the past. It's just what is right now. And then another doorway to the present moment is our hands. So I have my fingers are interlaced and my thumbs are touching. And I can just gently play with moving the fingers, rubbing my thumbs together. And again, it's simply giving the mind something to focus on that is happening right now, as opposed to this past and future continuum. So notice what you're fingers in your hands, the sensations right here, right now. And then, of course, breath. Breath is always happening. Most of us can't really go without breath for more than 2 or 3 minutes. And so it's really interesting to just take a step back and notice the body breathing. So see if you can do that right now. I'm not trying to manipulate or change breath, but just notice the body breathing. And breath is happening right now. Again, this is not a memory of breathing, it's an experience of breathing in the now. Now we'll do a few rounds of this physiological sighing, and then we'll return back to our regular breath. So just a quick reminder. So deep inhalation through the nose, a sip, and then a long exhale. So here we go. And breathe in, sip, long exhale. Relaxing the shoulders and the chest and the belly. Deep inhale, sip, exhale. In, in, sip, out. In, and out. In, sip. The key is to really relax on the out breath. And in, sip, and relax. Let's do two more. So in, sip, out, in, sip, and out. And now just letting your body breathe on its own. Letting go of control of breath. And taking a neutral observer stance and just noticing. You might feel a little lightheaded. You might notice the heartbeat. Take a step back and just let it all happen and notice. And also noticing if there's anything that feels different in your body, be it your nervous system or just your, generally speaking, the way your body and your mind feel after having done some intentional breathing. If not, that's okay. And if yes, then just see what it is different. Where is it different? We'll do another round of breathing. And this time I want you to imagine yourself being in a place that may not be as safe or as conducive to what we're doing right now, meaning we're all doing this together and it's potentially a little bit of a strange thing to others looking in from the outside. But imagine yourself, you know, in a public space or somewhere where maybe you're feeling a little bit stressed out, and see if you can find a way of doing this practice, this breathing technique, without it being, you know, super obvious. So imagine yourself doing this in stealth mode in a situation where you might really need it, and you're around other people that may not get what you're trying to do here. So go ahead and so inhale, sip, long exhale. Inhale, sip, out. Noticing how you can do this in a really subtle way. So in, sip, and out. In, out. In, sip, in, sip, out. And let's do one more at your own pace, as deep as you can make it. And then relax. Let the body breathe at its own pace. Just watching and sensing, and noticing. I'm guessing your body feels different now than it did 12 minutes ago. And see if you can identify how it feels different. It might be really obvious or it might be really subtle. Just get curious. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. On the exhale, go ahead and open your eyes. Come on back to the session. Again, this breathing is available to us at any point. So this weekend, the invitation is see if you can sneak in a few rounds of breathing. Again, 5-10 rounds is probably enough. The research studies that have been done have shown that literally 5 minutes of this kind of breathing, which is usually about between 30 to 50 rounds, depending on how quickly you do it, once a day, actually outperforms 5 minutes of vipassana or mindfulness practice in terms of down regulating the nervous system. So it's a really effective way of doing that. Hope that was helpful. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay cool. See you on Monday. I'll stick around if anyone wants to chat. Take care.